Well, Becca, today's guest reminds me of something that I think a lot about, in that laughter is either the best medicine or really good medicine.
Right.
And you know, when something doesn't maybe go my way, I think you either have two choices. I could either cry about it or I could
Mhm.
laugh about it.
Right.
So,
Well, that's
for,
it.
for example, today, if I have some terrible questions to ask, I might cry about it after we're done. But so hopefully they won't suck too bad. But definitely laughter, I think, is so important.
It is so important, right? And it's like, your body like releases chemicals when you laugh. So it's not even just a weird saying that we say. There's science behind that, right? And so um what I it makes me think about is the ways that I infuse laughter into my life, right? The way that I kind of choose to laugh at myself for whatever I have done awry this day. And today has been full of them. Today I have done really foolish things all day, which included missing my own live stream. So, I have to laugh at myself all the time. And I look forward to moments, honestly, when people who know me really well make those moments for me, like they point them out to me, like, hey, back, by the way, and like all of these things, it makes me laugh so much at myself, in a way that is really healthy, instead of in that really demeaning way that I used to make fun of myself, like to beat people to it kind of thing. And so it feels really good to be able to do that.
Absolutely. I don't know any other way, and I don't know. I think it's interesting when people kind of don't use laughter in response to those things, and how
Right.
our mental health affects us otherwise.
Right. And it's really hot. I noticed that the people that really struggle to do that are the people that are feeling so overwhelmed by something in their lives that they cannot find the humor in anything. Right. And those are probably the people I think that need it the most. And so
Yes.
hopefully today is our day. Hopefully we will bring some laughter and joy with us today, for somebody who's having like the poop kicked out of them today. So let's do that. And let's bring our guest on, and we will make sure that I say it correctly, Bridie,
Yeah,
is here with us today. And she does laughter for a living, and I love that. And so I'm excited to talk to her today. And I'm also excited because when we bring guests on that I know kind of, but not really well, it gets me excited because I never know where it's going to go. And so I'm thrilled.
I am excited to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited to
A-
have you.
And in preparing to kind of talk to you today, I came across something that we had in common that I never would have expected. In that, I watch a lot of movies, I watch a lot of TV shows,
Mhm.
and my opinions on TV and movie shows seem to greatly differ than our masses. And one movie that maybe that we have in common, that we didn't I don't think that we like maybe as much as the rest of society did, was Rocky. So I'd love to hear what you didn't like about Rocky, because I definitely have some opinions that people are not going to like about Rocky.
That's going to be three of us right now. We're about to talk about this because I'm the third in this party. I'm so excited. Go.
Did I just find my people? I have been searching far and wide for people to feel similarly. Um, yeah, and I've been exposed to Rocky now many times, and just I don't understand why people have to try to just like they keep trying to explain to me over and over again, it's a character study, like, no, I get it, it's a bad one. Okay, so like he doesn't do anything, like
It's not,
he's walking around saying just normal things and not like just normal average Joe things. And I'm sorry, I just want the character study I want is Adrian. So that's like she's got the story, and I just don't understand this fascination behind Rocky. He's a guy who's like honestly, he's dumb. He's a dumb guy. Like
Yep.
and if what I would have loved to have seen is maybe the childhood of this kid, this guy. Like, where did Rocky come from? How did he get to be so dumb? Was he just like belittled his whole life? Because when he became an adult, his life was just fucking boring. I mean, like, of course, he's a dumb jock now. He's gonna just punch shit because that's all he can do.
Mhm.
But he had to have had some sort of interesting childhood, you
I
know?
agree. Like there had to be brain damage somewhere. Why don't we have
Yeah,
that story? I want
yeah,
that story because otherwise explain to me the garbled talk, which is the thing that makes me crazy.
right,
Like I
right.
can't even appreciate your script, even if there is one, because I can't, no, I don't get it. And I
And it's
don't
like,
feel empowered after
no,
it either.
everybody's like, Rocky's a sweetheart. I'm like, really? Because he like kind of sticks up for Adrian a little bit here
Sort
and
of.
there, like he's like a little bit, but then it's like, nah, come on. It's just like you're doing the bare minimum here, and then I don't know.
We're
I'm
saying do
really
better,
just
right? Doug, I need to know your criticism. What is
So
your criticism?
yeah.
so I'm a sports fanatic, so I kind of take it from that perspective,
Uh,
where I don't buy that Rocky could ever beat Apollo Creed. He's
Mm-mm.
he's shorter. When we meet him, he's really not that good of a fighter. Like
Mm-hmm.
Apollo, like, so it just doesn't seem believable. Like he's fighting like meat. And
mhm.
that's what like he's sparring like at the meat locker or something. Like I just don't see like this
No.
guy ever beating anyone of any prominence.
It does.
No.
It looks like the minute somebody moves a little too fast, he's just not going to catch up. And that, like, all of that bothers me. And then here's my question to you at the tail end of it, because we know a certain amount of money went into this film. What was the deal with the casting? Was it a better script and he couldn't handle the big words? Did they cut it out? What happened? Why not choose? Did he produce secretly and I don't know it? What is happening?
I think he did. He wrote it, right?
Yeah,
Did
Like
he?
he
yeah.
wrote the yeah, he wrote
That's
it,
even worse.
and he wasn't gonna let anybody else play Rocky except for him. That was his deal.
Yeah.
Like that's how Sly Stallone came to be. And he had a dog, and that whole thing was like that was his life,
Wow.
apparently. And that's why people love the movie was because like this is how he came to
But
Hollywood.
it's
And I'm
not
like, I'm
his
sorry, he
story
did
either,
nothing
though.
after like everything he did after Rocky too was just like, you know, it was even dumber than Rocky. So
Well, now that everyone hates us out there in the
yeah,
world,
we've really set the bar high
we
here.
did. We did. I'm challenging you, America, to better. Who would you cast as Rocky if you could recast it and rewrite it maybe a little too?
Hmm. Um, given the time period, oh, I would cast. mm, That's hard to say.
Right?
Again, I probably I would have done just the Apollo Creed movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe someone that isn't like a fairly short white guy. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. I was like, who's a good black actor at the time, or
Right.
like, yeah, because that's a story I want to see. hmm Eddie Murphy.
Oh, that'd be really interesting. Rocky as a comedy. We'll
Yeah,
just redo it
yeah,
the right way.
yeah.
It's funny.
Coming to America, Rocky. Oh, that'd be great.
Now, in the last day or two, I've been checking out your social media and had a lot of laughs, particularly with your Twitter account. I especially came across something, and we were kind of, we were joking at it at the beginning, like you found your people, but you said on Twitter that you keep looking at a world filled with cults, and I'm like, where's my cult? So I'm curious, what would you hope your cult would look like?
I don't- just a bunch of loners who don't talk to each other. We just occasionally text 5 times a year, just checking in on each other. You good, bro? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Just making
We
sure you're
don't knock on,
alive.
nobody knocks on anybody's door or calls
Yeah.
or anything. There's
Where
like
we-
mail under the door. You all
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I'm
Where we all
fine.
and we all make sure that none of us have drank the Kool-Aid yet.
Right.
You know, like nobody has done it yet. Like, you're still here, right?
Yeah.
You good? Kids
Did
good?
you shower
All right.
like anytime this year? All right, golden.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Did you eat today? You need some groceries? I'm gonna DoorDash you. So that's it. That's my cult, is where you just like have a healthy respect for boundaries and everybody just understands it. You know, like whatever you're doing in your house, no one questions it.
Nope.
You know, you have to, although there have to be some ground rules, you know, like no pedophilia and stuff has to go on. And, you know, but like there has to be rules.
Right.
They're like the moral standards of living have to apply.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like an honor system.
Right.
I'll just sure, you know, we're only suspicious of each other like one time a year. That one text. No, I'm not doing too good. Well, what's going on? And you get like 5 follow-up texts afterwards. That's my call.
I
I
love
don't know
that.
who would lead it.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Now you're you're a comedian, a writer, a parody musician. So I love musical parodies. So I was just wondering about like the process of it, and wondering about like creativity in terms of that process, like how much like goes into that aspect of it.
For me, it's unfortunately second nature, and it's just like ringing through my head. Like it just like comes to me on a whim in the shower or while I'm cooking or singing a song to my kids. And I think that that's honestly, that's one of my autistic traits is just being able to interchange words that rhyme just very quickly. And I've always been very, very rhythmic and very grammar, English language inclined, I guess. But I'm just constantly writing down lyrics. I have about 50 songs that I haven't recorded, haven't done anything with. I just have to get them down. And some of them are topical, some of them are not. And I've been doing this since I was a kid. It was just my way of kind of connecting socially. People always like the person who makes other people laugh, and that was my thing that I could do. I just remember, you know, a lot of the times people reference Weird Al, you know, as their inspiration, and I love Weird Al, and of course he was like the first person that I knew of, but I remember Jimmy Fallon's, and that was something I listened to on loop because it had everything. It had parody, stand up, you know, and original songs as well. And that was like, this is what I'm going to do. I just remember thinking, this is what I'm going to do. And I would just perform that whole album for my friends, just make them roll and everything. And then ever since then, and I think that was about middle school, high school for me. And but ever since then, I was writing material myself, and I never did anything with comedy until a couple of years ago because I was performing as a dancer and doing choreography. But then my health kind of declined and I switched gears into what I truly love the most is comedy. So I was like, well, here I am. Let's do it. Yeah.
Now, I'm always impressed by people, and I always want to learn from them when they can do things that I could never do or I'm really bad at. And, I can barely get one word out in front of the other. So, thinking about improv, which is something I understand that you've done, uh, tell me about that experience. Is that just something that naturally comes to you? Is that something you've had to learn?
For me, that's also natural. I think it's more natural for me than stand up is. Although I tend to write jokes in a way that are just constant one-liners, constant puns, and those, like I said, those are very wordplay-esque, and again, all of the wordplay stuff that kind of comes second nature to me, and I do a lot of that in improv, but because I was so I think that improv is just so easy. um, I love it, and it gives me a major, major release. And it's a big outlet for me whenever I'm feeling like crap. Um, it's a huge high. Um, I think that for a lot of people with improv, there's a lot of pressure to make the right choices, and there are no right choices as long as you're keeping the story going forward, and it can be anything. I think that when you are doing improv, as long as it's navigationally, creating something interesting, it can be completely obscure. And that's what I think is the most fun to do, is just to throw a story way out sideways. But I've never been a person to say no to anything when doing comedy, so I'm pretty fearless. So I think that's why I've always liked improv, and it just is not, I don't think easy is the word, it's just natural. Yeah, natural, for sure.
And then, other than comedy, are there other things in your life that you like really love?
My kids, love my kids. Um, I love working with kids a lot. Used to teach dance, and my favorite group to work with was little kids, and um, I have a fascination for childhood development. Um, and I think that the, the child's brain is so interesting, and the way that kids really develop and change, and grow in different ways, and finding ways to teach them in a way that they will specifically pick up and learn things is really interesting to me. It's like each person is a puzzle, and and I know that with autism, there's the whole thing with the puzzle piece, and that's not really what I like to refer to with the puzzle. But when I say like whether you're neurodivergent or neurotypical, every person is a puzzle. Every person's brain is a puzzle, and um, literally figuring out how we as humans evolved to even be the dominant species is just amazing to me. So I often find myself doing deep dives into you know evolution and the expansion of the universe, and just wild stuff, and then you know frequently finding no one except my 7-year-old to talk to about it. But fortunately, he's autistic too, and he's fascinated with it too. So
Yes.
yeah. Oh, it's the funniest thing when he asks me, big questions like, Mom, my favorite one was, Mommy, where's the end of the universe? And I was like, honey, this is going to blow your mind because it's not there. And he just like looked at the wall for a second as if like, hold on, it's possible for a wall to not exist? And what? And he like he was like, Mommy, he said his words verbatim were, Mommy, I need to take a break. He had to walk away for like 10 minutes. But I love having these conversations with him.
That's so amazing to watch his little brain implode when you share the facts of the world with him.
I know.
But because I could imagine my little autistic brain would be like, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have logical value for me, so I don't get it.
My 3-year-old, he's fascinated with death now. And of course, don't ask me why. I don't talk about death, but now he's just afraid everything's going to cause him to die. Every day he's talking about tornadoes. When will the tornadoes get us? When will the volcanoes get us? And then he loves dinosaurs, but he's like, Mommy, how did the dinosaurs die? Is that going to happen to us? And I'm like, I want to say no, but
I'm gonna be a liar.
I'm pretty blunt, buddy. I'm just going to put it out there. There's a chance,
Right.
But I'll take care of you.
We'll see. In the 0.3 seconds we have.
I'll hug you. It'll be fine. We'll be together.
I remember asking a lot of questions that didn't have a lot of easy answers as a kid, and then falling into like existentialist, philosophy and things like that. Maybe that's something for him.
Sure.
I think it's a phase. We'll all go through that existential phase, don't we?
Yep. He'll isolate himself and go into a deep, dark depression, and I'll be like, buddy, I've been waiting for this moment. Mama's got you. Mama's got you. Come here.
Now, if people want to learn about your comedy, how can they, find what you do on social media and all that?
Sure, I can go to my website. It's www.bridieschellenberg.com, and they can find me on TikTok. I do the TikTok thing now. It's Bridie Schellenberg Comedy. That's my username. I'm on the Twitter. Everything has to be the Twitter or the Facebook, Twitter is Bridie S Comedy. I'm also on Facebook, but I don't like to promote Facebook so much because, Zuckerberg, But everything is Zuckerberg these days, so yeah, you can find me at those places.
Yay!
I'm a fan of your TikTok duets. That's all I'll say. Yes.
Thank you.
I recommend it to everyone. Please check those out.
But I'm super excited to see your TikTok. I can't wait.
Yeah. Now, we always end the show with a segment called Inside the Autistic Studio, kind of playing off inside the actor's studio. So there's 11 questions for you just to get to know you a little bit better. What are your pronouns?
She, her.
And what's your preferred stim?
Laying on the floor, just on the hardwood floor, sometimes kicking my feet up, and it really feels tremendous on the spine and just rolling around. I love doing that. It's my favorite.
What's your favorite curse word?
Fuck. Absolutely. Hard one. Oh, it's everything.
Who do you love and what are you doing about it?
I love my kids tremendously, and I spend every moment with them, just snuggling them, kissing them, and telling sarcastic jokes to them that they will never get, but they will someday. Right now, they love me, so I'm eating that up.
The next two are fill in the blank. You may be neurotypical if.
You have no trauma.
And then you may be autistic if.
You remember everything and forget everything.
It's an interesting dynamic. What's something you want to learn to do or be better at?
I want to be better at speaking French. It was my special interest growing up, and I've kind of lost that for other reasons, and I want to get back into that. You know, kids. They're blaming everything on kids.
What autistic social media account should people be paying attention to?
I very much like Teach official. I think that's what her account is. It's AUTEACH and then official, I think is how it is. But she does a wonderful job of kind of fusing. She's also an autistic parent to an autistic child, and she navigates for neurotypical parents as well as neurodiverse parents, the system, the education system. So I really enjoy how she kind of fuses that. And also for parents whose only resource for therapy is ABA, how to find the reliable, like the dependable, the places that you can trust, and what red flags are. She does a really good job of making people aware of what to look out for, given your resources. So I really like her account.
What's one thing in your routine you couldn't possibly live without?
Cheese. I have cheese every day. I don't know how I can live without cheese, and I hate that, but I cling to it.
I understand. I eat a lot of cheese slices, and I don't know why I do it.
I don't know either. It's my emotional support animal.
Coffee and cheese for me. It's
Yeah.
I don't understand the combination.
I don't either. I don't. This has been reheated 20 times a day. And that's not a joke. It's 20 times. I have a whole pot. I will go through the whole pot and reheat the pot 20 times.
I'm with you there. Dog, cat, or must I choose?
Dog. 100% dog.
You got one, Doug. That's for you.
That's very wonderful. And then the last question, what does autistic joy mean to you?
It means freedom to be truly authentic, and that might even mean existing in depression, but being able to come out of it safely. Being able to have a safe space for that. Autistic joy for me means just safety. And I think that, that's pretty much the whole of it. Just being able to, I've never been able to just lie on the ground and stim until I was diagnosed, and just feeling like Like that was something that was acceptable. I was diagnosed at 34. And my son was diagnosed when he was 3. So I wasn't really aware until he was diagnosed. And then I was like, oh, this makes sense now. And so a lot of my masking stuff, it's just a lot of it I just shed, this stress of, staying standing. I just want to lay down sometimes. I just want to jump around, and that's fine. So autistic joy is just existing.
That's it for us, right? What a fantastic episode. Thank you so much. I hope we have created some autistic joy out there for you guys. I certainly laughed a lot, and I know that I probably would have laughed more if I didn't want to talk over you guys. So, but I am so glad that you joined us, and I hope we'll have you back. But I hope you guys will go check her out and follow and check out all of her talented stuff that she does with all of her spare energy from raising children. So please, please, please go support her and have some joy together. Share it with each other. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for having me.